Hey Virgo, welcome to Intuitive Gems. My name is Desiree, and in today's video, I'll be doing your money, wealth, prosperity, abundance reading for the month of July 2020. If this is your first time catching one of my videos, I do want to say welcome, and I do invite you to subscribe because I do these readings each and every month, and I would love to share your money message with you. Now, for the month of July, I decided to start with Virgo because I know we had an interesting ending to our June reading. You know, we had the tower show up, but it wasn't necessarily bad, but I know it was definitely something that we had to pay attention to, something that we had to really be aware of and kind of feel our way through the shift that is currently taking place. So, I just felt really led to start with Virgo for the July readings, at least, the very first video that I'm recording today. Now, I also want to talk about a new deck that I have been working with. This is called the Groovy Weight Tarot deck. I really love it. It's a very fun, vibrant, groovy deck, and I think you will enjoy it too. It's made by the same people who make the Trippin' Weight Tarot deck, and I know a lot of you like that. I will also clarify the readings, Virgo, like I always do, with my Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot. And then I will end the reading with a Goddess Power Oracle card. So let's go ahead and jump right into it, Virgo. Like I said, I'm really anxious to see what shows up for us for July. I have some, I have some feelings and some ideas, but I'm just going to see what shows up. So what do we need to know for the sign of Virgo as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of July 2020? What do we need to know for the sign of Virgo? Okay, Virgo. So as we move into July, Virgo, I can feel it and I can see it clearly. Things are just not finished. Things are still kind of up in the air. Things are, I don't want to say scattered, but I do feel like things are a little off balance for us as we move into the new month of July. All right, I just want to make sure I can get all the cards in here. All right, so we have the Eight of Pentacles. Then we also have my favorite card here, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, Devil card, Six of Cups upright, World reverse, and then we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. That's very good. But let's start here. So it looks like work is going to be picking up for us as we move into the new month of July. Now, this is a good thing for a lot of us who have been out of work, or maybe things have been really slow due to, excuse me, current circumstances. But just know that that is, coming to an end. Things are going to start picking up for us. Now, we also have the Nine of Pentacles here in reverse, and this tells me that we're going to be feeling the crunch of some past decisions that we made. So maybe we didn't save as much as we should. Maybe we made a purchase we shouldn't have made. And now we're starting to see, oh, that money could have been better spent in a new direction, or maybe I could have used that to pay bills, pay off debt. This is some type of a financial reconsideration. There was some money here that we all came into. Could have been stimulus money, could have been a bonus, could have been whatever. And maybe we kind of went, I don't want to say crazy, but I want to say that we kind of did some impulse spending, and now we're starting to feel the consequences of that. Now, we also have the Devil card here in the upright position. This is unhealthy attachments. This is something that we can't let go of for whatever reason, either an emotional attachment, a physical attachment, could even be a mental or a spiritual attachment. This is something we need to pay attention to, because this is what's kind of holding us back. We have an unhealthy attachment, an unhealthy addiction. We have a habitual problem that keeps coming up, and this is something we need to address. And it's really going to make itself obvious once we move into that first week of July. Now, the rest of these cards here are very, very good. Even though we have the World in the reverse, that's okay. That means we still got time. But we have the Six of Cups here in the upright position. The Six of Cups talks about, something from our history, something from our past, showing up again in a positive, supportive, and loving way. This could be a person, this could be a situation, this could be a work you did in the past, and now it shows up again to benefit you. So while we made some financial decisions that maybe were not the best, as we are now starting to realize, just know that you are going to get some loving support in some way, shape, or form. Usually when this card shows up, it's a person who is, really someone who wants to see you do well, someone who wants to help you succeed. So just know and trust that if you are going through some instability, some rough patches, you are going to get support in some way. Now, the World card in the reverse talks about the cycle being incomplete. Meaning we still have time to kind of fix things. We still have time to kind of redirect our energy, redirect our attention into a way that's going to kind of benefit us, in some way. We have to know that we're still going through a phase of incompleteness. We still have a phase of learning. We have growing to do. Okay, so the World card just means that, hey, you're not done. You may think you're ready to advance to the next level, but there's still some things you need to learn. There's still some things that need to be addressed, okay? Five of Pentacles here in the reverse. This talks about the struggles. Financial struggles are either over or they will be very soon. This means, we're kind of letting go of that poverty mindset. We're not struggling. We're not feeling pressed, for money. We're just starting to kind of be more diligent with our spending. We're starting to get back on track. We're starting to be a lot more conscious of how we spend and what we do with our money. And so we are kind of setting ourselves up for greater financial independence, but it has been a challenge. It's been a rough road, but just know you're starting to move in the right direction. So overall, the first week of July, Virgo, is going to be a week of awareness, a week of really just coming to terms with who you are, what it is you want to achieve, and kind of the game plan of how you're going to achieve it. So what else do we need to know for the sign of Virgo as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance? For the month of July 2020, okay, what else do we need to know? For the sign of Virgo. Okay, Virgo. As we move into the second week of July, just know that you're going to be doing a lot of things by yourself, okay? You do have someone showing up. We do have this Two of Cups here. It fell onto that Six of Cups. While you do have a supportive, interested, positive partner in your life, a lot of the actual work is you're going to have to do that alone, okay? You're going to have to kind of be the solo flyer here. But let's start here with the Eight of Swords in reverse. This is actually really good. This talks about you're starting to break free of some limiting beliefs. You're starting to kind of realize that the limitations you may have placed on yourself were all in your head. You know, we're starting to kind of see that, hey, no one's holding us back. There is no invisible enemy that's trying to destroy us. The only enemy lives within. And this is something we're coming to terms with, and we're starting to take more control. I obviously, you know, you can't control every circumstance and every situation. But in your world, you can control a lot more than you think. A lot of times it's all about perspective. You know, what type of lens are you seeing your world through? And this is going to be very important, especially if you're trying to create, you know, financial stability, financial independence, financial freedom. And I have a feeling that's where a lot of us are going. You know, Virgos are very practical. We don't waste time, but at the same time, we don't like to kind of go, you know, we don't like to do something and not be able to see the return right away. Now, we also have the Ace of Swords here. Ace of Swords means you are going to be doing something new. You're going to be letting go of something. Now, this is really, really good because this card fell onto the Devil. Remember, that's that unhealthy attachment. The Ace of Swords talks about you starting something new as a result of letting something go, whether that be a person, a relationship, again, a bad habit, an addiction, whatever it is, it's going to start once we hit that second week of July. And we already talked about this Two of Cups here, the Two of Cups. This is a partnership. This is a divine union. This is you being with someone who is supportive and who is loving, but they're not going to do the work for you, okay? They're going to say, hey, you can do it. They're going to be very encouraging. But when it all is said and done, Virgo, you have to do the work by yourself. And I think as Virgos, we're kind of independent in our nature like that. You know, that's nothing challenging for us to accept. You know, we know how things go, and we're perfectly fine, you know, kind of steering our own ship, doing things our own way, and working solo. Now we have the 10 of Pentacles reverse. We also have the 7 of Swords reverse. This is about you kind of breaking away from some people who just were not on board. And I don't think this is a surprise, Virgo. I think this is you just kind of finally coming to terms with the fact that you are going to have to do most of this stuff by yourself. And when I talk about stuff, I talk about either starting a business, doing some inner emotional, spiritual work for your own personal growth, self-development, maybe education in some way. Maybe you're trying to invest and you need to learn about investments. Whatever this project is that you're working on to get yourself to the next level, just know that you're going to have to do most of it alone, if not all of it. And you're going to have to be okay with that. Finally, 7 of Swords. There was someone around you who wasn't exactly upfront with something, but this situation either is coming to an end, or the person has been removed from your life, or you're aware of someone's true intentions and you see they're not good, so you cut them off. So this is very clear, Virgo, and it's actually a good thing, because you really don't need someone around you who is disingenuous, okay? I'm not going to do those because I'm feeling like I need to shuffle a bit more. All right, Virgo, let's go ahead and clarify and see what else we need to know for the sign of Virgo as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of July. (2020). What do we need to know for the sign of Virgo? All right, feeling like that one wants to come out too. All right, Virgo. I hope this is not cut off here. This is Ace of Wands. Hope you can see that. Okay, Virgo. All right, we have the Hangman, 4 Cups, Emperor, upright, 7 of Swords, reverse again. Remember, we saw him here. Six of Wands upright, Queen of Swords in reverse, and the Ace of Wands in the upright position. Virgo, you're going to be feeling a little stuck, maybe unable to move forward, okay? But I want you to kind of trust this as kind of a holding period, right? Not because you can't go one direction or another, but you're going to have to kind of just sit with something for a while before you decide to make a move, especially as it relates to work, career, finances, money, finances, whatever the case may be. You're just going to have to be in a holding pattern for a little while. Now, this is okay because it gives you time to get a bigger grasp on what's going on as it relates to your money. You need to be very, very clear about what direction you're going, and you being in this holding pattern once we hit the second week of July is going to give you that luxury of not having to make a rash decision, not having to feel pressured, and not having to feel overly anxious about something, okay? So trust that time when if it feels like something's not moving, if it feels like things are not progressing, trust that you're in a holding pattern, so to speak. And you're going to have to get really comfortable with that and use it to your advantage. You know, use it to gain more clarity. Use it to do more research. Use it to get more educated and more information. We also have the Four of Cups here in the upright position. Now, the Four of Cups in the upright position is you being presented with several options, and maybe not all of them are exciting. Maybe they're not anything that you would even remotely consider. But really, you know, be grateful that the offers are coming. This could be something as it relates to a job. It can also be in negotiations if you're, you know, in a business type of situation where you have to negotiate. Just know that the first few offers that come through probably are not going to ring your bell, so to speak, but it's going to be okay. Keep communicating and keep expressing what you want. Now we have the Emperor here. The Emperor sometimes talks about control. Sometimes it talks about being overly controlling a situation. I'm feeling like this energy is kind of coming into play for Virgo once we hit the second half of July, because Virgo, we like to control things. You know, we like to micromanage. We like to really know what's going on, how it's going on, and who's doing what. That could be a good quality for the second half of July, because it allows you to kind of be more proactive, and you're not just going to sit back and allow things to just kind of willy-nilly happen here and there. You're going to have a invested interest into what's going on, especially as it relates to your money, to your work, and to your career. And so I think this is actually going to be something good for us, Virgo. You know, it shows that we're interested, and it shows that we're willing to kind of put the attention where it needs to be. Now, again, we have the Seven of Swords in reverse. I'm thinking this person kind of shows up again, but again, you kick them to the curb or you realize what's going on and you say, hey, I'm done. This isn't going to work. Please move on. Do what you got to do, because you can't do it here and you can't do it with me. I just feel like whatever situation this is, you see it here, you deal with it here, and then it shows up again in the second half of the month. But again, Virgo, you're very clear. You know, you decide to kind of kick it out and then you move on. Now we have the Six of Wands here. This means you're going to be getting a lot of attention. You're going to be recognized for something, Virgo, as we move into the second half of July. This is very good. This means that, you're going to be in the spotlight. People are going to see you. People are going to really applaud and recognize your talents and your strong points. And this is very good because you're going to be able to use this attention and use this notoriety in a much more powerful way that will help you achieve your goals. The Queen of Swords. Again, this is all about eliminating something. The Queen of Swords is she's very swift when she cuts things away, right? When she cuts things out. She doesn't waste a lot of time making the decisions. She says, oh, you need to go, you're gone, right? So when she shows up in the reverse, that means maybe she's hesitating on cutting something out. Are you hesitating on releasing something, Virgo, that needs to be gone? Are you hesitating? Are you procrastinating on something that you know good and well needs to be over and done with, but for whatever reason, you just can't do it? Pay attention to that, because it's going to really show up once we hit the second half of July. And if you don't take care of it, I have a feeling it's going to impede your actions in some way. Finally, we have the Ace of Wands here. The Ace of Wands talks about a brand new work project showing up for you. And that's very good, Virgo, because I'm getting the sense that this is something that kind of just shows up out of the blue. You know, it's like you probably never thought about this particular thing. You never considered it. You weren't, looking for it, but something shows up and it starts taking off. I'm feeling like this is a business, a side hustle, maybe a little part-time job. There is something that, like I said, you had no idea about, and it shows up and you start making money, or you start getting clients, or you start getting customers, you start doing something, and it starts paying off for you rather quickly and in a very unexpected, surprising way. So what else do we need to know for the sign of Virgo as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of July 2020? Ooh, okay. All right, Virgo, so as we close out July, you're going to see that once we hit the probably the end of July, things are just going to be moving very, very slow. You won't see any major changes. You're going to have some messages too, good messages. Good news is definitely coming your way by the time we get towards the end of July. I'm feeling really positive about this because I have a feeling something I've been waiting to hear back on. I will be hearing back on it. Unfortunately, it will be the end of July is what it's looking like for me. But here we are. Things are moving slow. It's okay. Like I said, this falls on to that card where I talk about Virgo being in that holding pattern. This is okay. Everything doesn't have to happen instantly. Things moving slow are actually going to work out to your advantage, Virgo, so don't fight it. We have the Five of Cups here, okay? Don't be anxious. Don't do something rash and then have a feeling of regret when you look back in hindsight, okay? Take your time with something. And if you do something that you look back at and you say, oh, damn, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have said that. Just consider it a lesson learned, okay? Sometimes that's the only way we can make changes is by kind of stumbling our way through them. We have the Death card again. This talks about no major changes happening. Now, the Death card, remember, is literally a life-transforming change. That's not going to happen for us, Virgo, once we hit the end of July. And this is actually a comforting thing. At least it tells us we don't have to be overwhelmed with big changes hitting us from all directions. We're going to be okay, and this gives us time, like I said, to really get resettled into our own groove, especially as it relates to our work and our money. Page of Swords, Two of Swords. Page of Swords talks about there's information coming about something being taken away, something being eliminated, something being stopped, something being, not continuing. Now, this is not necessarily bad news, okay? Just because it's in the reverse doesn't mean it's negative. This could be something positive in the sense that maybe we get word or we get news or we get a determination that something is going to be stopped, okay? So just know that you are going to be getting some information about something ending, something being taken away, something, no longer continuing. Now, we have the Two of Swords here in reverse. Again, another positive card. This tells me that you're not going to be forced into having to make a decision, You're not going to feel like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. This is actually very good. It means you have more options than what you had originally considered. Virgo. This is all about you having more choices, more opportunities than what you probably had assumed you had initially, and that's very good. And like I said, you're going to get some good news by the end of the month. You're going to get a positive message. Could even be something of an offer if you're expecting to hear back about a job. It's going to be something good. The Page of Cups always brings good, happy, exciting, and positive news. So Virgo, looks like July is going to be, it's not necessarily going to be our best month, but it's not going to be our worst month either. I feel like July is going to be a month where there's going to just be a lot of growth, and there's going to be time to kind of absorb everything that's going on, and it's going to give us that luxury of time in order to make better, much more calculated decisions. All right, Virgo, let's go ahead and close out your reading with a Goddess Power Oracle card. This is my first time using this Oracle deck, and I felt really drawn to it for July. Oh, we got Ishtar. Card number 23, this is the card of communion. Okay. Now, communion, I'm feeling like this could be some of those layers of indirect support we kind of talked about here and here. We kind of come together maybe on one level, but when it comes to actually, putting things into practice, we're still going to have to kind of do that in our own timing and in our own way. But still, I'm very fascinated by this. Ishtar, communion, card number 23. So Virgo, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or observations, feel free to drop them down in the comment section below. And if you'd like to connect with me for a private reading, I will have that information linked for you in the description as well. All right, Virgo, thank you so much for spending this time with me. We will definitely do it again next month.